Good morning and welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. I'm here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, then at 4:45 p.m. on Facebook. Today, we are talking about a really important topic called problems and opportunities, how we can transform our problems into opportunities, which is one of the absolute keys to productivity because everybody's got problems. And how we deal with those and conceptualize those and think about problems is an absolute key to productivity. All right. If you're new to the show, we speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being productive through joy. We also speak one-on-one, offer one-on-one executive consulting as well. You can go to productivethroughjoy.com. Have me come out speak to your group, school, or organization. All right, let's dive into the topic for today. So again, we're talking today about problems and productivity, how we can transform problems into opportunities. All right, let me say a few words about myself for those, again, of you who are new to the show. The show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. Uh, and goes into, then we also, of course, air on Facebook Live. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Datcher. I'm the author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month. Pick that book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called My People, and I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the acclaimed historical novel Americas, which is set 13 miles from Ferguson, which is out right now, just came out. Bookstores everywhere. That book is about identical twin sons, one of whom gets vitiligo, the skin condition which makes black and brown people, folks with melanin, lose their skin pigmentation in splotches. The book also interrogates the intersection of race and violence in America. I'm also the former executive director of, I am also the current board president of the World Stage, a 501c3 nonprofit in Los Angeles. We offer 7 days of arts programming, really just a powerful organization. You can go to theworldstage.org to learn more about that. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergraduate. My master's is from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature is from the University of California at Riverside. I'm currently a professor of English lit at LMU here in Los Angeles. I am an expert at being productive, all right? I don't say that to brag or boast, but people are oftentimes surprised at my level of productivity given how really crazy my own personal narrative has been. I am the product of a young girl who was raped at 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption um, to a wonderful single divorcee. So, yet at the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. Yet, as Cool Mo D famously said, "How you like me now?" All right, and if I can be this productive through joy, so can many of us who are watching the show. In that, in many ways, listen, it inspires the show. We are especially interested in helping people help themselves who come from difficulty, because when people like us can make it, can have extreme success from our types of backgrounds, it really encourages people. I know I need encouragement all the time. So, and oftentimes, listen, it just takes someone doing it first, who you see, who you can touch, who you can be around. So anyway, that's just a brief note about why we do what we do, when we do, how we do. All right. Again, today we're talking, which we'll get into a second, about problems and productivity. Um, but let me also speak a little bit about the idea of framing your day, as we do in the morning show each week, each day. Um, Framing your day before your day has a way of framing you. As we know, we all have problems. At times, those problems follow us into our sleep. We wake up literally with trouble on our mind. That trouble can follow us throughout our day and go follow us once again into our dream state. And you string a few of those days or weeks or months, or for some of us, lifetimes of that process, that begins to be your life. I mean, I know and have come into contact with and have lived that life, at least for different times in my life, um, for for certain amounts of time. So I know a lot about that process, which is why we have a methodology to deal with it, because we know that's a major problem for a lot of people. So we help people construct what we call rituals. Rituals morning rituals. Rituals can be defined as basically doing the same thing at around the same time. So let me give you my brief morning ritual to serve as an exemplar. In the mornings, I wake up at 3:30, including this morning, although a little earlier somehow this morning. I just popped awake earlier than 3:30, which is crazy. I read a couple of spiritual business books. I do our show right now at 4:45 until 5, until a little before 5. At 5, I work on my current novel until sunrise. At sunrise, I walk out to the beach. I live here along the coast in Venice Beach, California. So I bring my drum, I meditate, I pray, I do yoga, I come back. I work on my book a while longer. Then I go back to the beach to run up the coast all the way past Santa Monica's Pier, all the way back, run all the way back here to Venice to go to my gym, Gold's Gym in Venice. So by 10:30, guys, I'm feeling amazing. My body is being flooded with endorphins, and that endorphin release gives me a sense of euphoria that I can then leverage to move myself towards my goals and objectives. We're not saying do what I do, we're saying do what you do. And we help people do what they do because we can lean upon that morning ritual, draw from it. Listen, we are pro counseling, we are pro therapy, whatever you need to do to get outside help, do it. That's just smart, right? And there's also an extraordinary power at helping yourself. And this is simply one particular technology that you can use to help yourself in a practical way. And you'll be moved by how great it feels to help yourself. I'm just saying. So let's dive in. Oh, so I'm reading 3 great books now as part of my morning reading. I'm reading a book called Owning the Moment. I'm reading a book called The Nag, which is a book about just that, owning the moments in life. I'm reading a book called The Nag Hammadi Library or Reader. There's 2 versions of it, which is a compendium of ancient spiritual literature in the Gnostic tradition, the knowledge tradition, which is really powerful stuff. Oh my goodness. I'm at a section now called The Revelation of the Book of James. These are the early Gnostic texts, so which predate oftentimes the Bible. At least the Gospel of Thomas does, and several other ones. But I digress. I'm also reading, what am I reading? Cash in a Flash, which is a book that combines spirituality with basically entrepreneurial strategies, which is really super powerful as well. So from those 3 current books that I'm reading, I extract some wisdom, which I call the morning chant, which is in today's morning chant for June 13th, 2018 is, as a meditating natural mystic, I joyfully transform problems into opportunities. And so we're talking today about problems and opportunities. So again, go to productivethroughjoy.com, holler at us, see about what we do. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations. Have me come out speak to your group, school, or organization. We have a powerful program. Let's dive into the topic. So today we're talking about problems and opportunities. So let's get into what we do. Point 1 is that everyone's got problems. I wanted to say that as point 1 because sometimes when we're faced with problems, we're like, dang, why me? Why me? Again. But many people have that reaction. I've had it many times, like, why the MD? But once you can get a handle on the fact that everyone has them, listen, we don't always deal with them the same way. We don't always talk about them with the same volume or repetition, frequency, but everyone's got them. And knowing that will give you an odd comfort. Okay, point 2 is that once you recognize that you have a problem, you want to think about how you think about it. It's fine to initially go, why me? Oh, no, not again, etc. That's fine. Give that a day, After that, all right, we have to kind of start getting into, okay, how can this serve me? What can this teach me? How can I turn this into an opportunity, all right? Which goes into point 3. And point 3 is, once you begin to change your mind about the problem, what you will find is that you will find interesting ways to, because that other people have the same problem, you'll begin to think, how do I help myself and help other people turn this problem into an opportunity? And in my experience, the ideas just start to flow. And once those ideas begin to flow, you begin to place them in practice. All right, boom, goes the dynamite. That's it for today's show. Just a teaser. Go to productivethroughjoy.com to learn more about what we do. Thanks for being here. We are each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. And then at 4:45 p.m. we're on Facebook Live. Thanks for being here. We appreciate and respect you. We look forward to seeing you this afternoon. Look for me and coming to you soon as part of the book tour for Americas. I think that's it. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.